for question number 3, and it's another question on autism. And so I won't read everything, but kind of the main points are highlighted, where this kid is 7, almost 7.5, and he has been seen since age 3 for speech and language impairments. He's in 1st grade, and we're supposed to do his triennial IEP. He has a really high verbal and performance IQ, so 101 for verbal and 127 for performance, which I'm assuming is not for performance. And his full IQ is 112. He was assessed for auditory processing at age 6, but everything was normal except for the area of phonological processing.
Hi, sorry. No, we just started.
I need to go talk to the son. I'm explaining to you. Sure. But then again, auditory processing can't really be evaluated until after age 7. Some other scores that we have are his score on the ADOS, Module 3, which showed that he had good language skills, but lots of pragmatic issues like anxiety, poor eye contact, and poor social interactions. He received a diagnosis of autism based on his scores. Just barely making cut. So we need to plan an assessment at school that will demonstrate his strengths and weaknesses, especially in areas of social pragmatics, and then suggest goals and what we think the results will be. So right here is just kind of a chart about his strengths and weaknesses, and then we wrote a few comments on this. Okay, so we wrote like questions that we had and how we were gonna answer them. So the issue of phonological processing disorder comes up. I think we kind of decided that it was a little bit, that's not our main concern, but we still need to assess it since it's his triennial and he's in school and it's mentioned. So the one test that we found for that was the CTOP, which don't know much about that, but it's the comprehensive test of phonological processing. It seems to really like hone in on those areas.
And I have a copy of it if you guys want to, or like I have a copy of the, the booklet that we use. So if you guys want a copy, you can just grab it from me.
But here's like a link to everything, and it describes what it tests for that. So that's a good standardized measure to use for him because, as you'll see, we won't be using a lot of standardized measures on this kid. So the next thing that we were curious about is how does Daniel perform in his social use of language and pragmatics? And an article that we highly suggest you read is the one, it's on the Moodle page for the class that we're in right now. And it's by Michelle Garcia Winters. What's it called?
Assessment of social skills for students with Asperger's syndrome and high functioning autism. Is that the one for you?
Yeah, and it basically outlines like everything that you're supposed to do. I think that it would be a really good article for you to just kind of base your assessment off. And so it talks about needing an observation, needing parent and teacher interviews, or needing multiple observations. So one in the classroom, one on the playground, like a left environment. Then it talks about getting like written samples of his work, and doing what they call a double interview. So you as the clinician will ask the kid a bunch of questions, and then you'll have the kid ask you questions. So it's not only looking at how they can respond to questions, but can they initiate and sustain interaction, and also kind of do a little bit of inferencing based on some photographs that you show them, because they're supposed to ask questions about those photographs. So if their questions have nothing to do with what you show them, then it shows that they can't really figure out what you're interested in based off of a picture, which is kind of a huge thing for a kid to not be able to do that. And it also kind of goes along with the whole theory that I think it's called Gestalt processing, where they pay attention to all these minor details but can't focus in on this main detail that a lot of kids with autism have problems doing. So we listed, there's a standardized test that you can use, then some parent checklists, teacher checklists. There's also another article on the Moodle site that basically gives you a questionnaire, and I think it does a really good job of outlining what you should ask the teacher and what you should ask the parent. And you can actually give them the same one and then compare answers to see if the kid differs in different environments. Then we also thought, why not do a conversation sample and a narrative sample if you have time, just for like shits and giggles, you know, so you can analyze all of the language aspects of that and compare it to the databases to just kind of get a formal assessment of that. Narrative sample would also be good at looking at how, you know, they sequence, how they can sustain a topic for a while, can they inference from contextual cues. And then, so we mentioned the SALT analysis of a discourse sample for his just other language areas, which he doesn't seem to have a problem with, but probably should just kind of glance at them. And so these are just, we have a list of all the different tests. Garcia Winters really kind of knocks against the topple in her article because it is just like a very brief, it doesn't really dive deep into the social pragmatics issue, so a lot of kids that are higher functioning will pass it because it's just, it doesn't get into the nuances of like how you communicate with other people. All right, so here are possible goals.
Yeah, do you want to, I made them clear on the other page. So this is like our big conglomeration of like, here's a whole bunch of information that we found out. Here are our thoughts on the information that we found out. And then do we have, what's it called? The one where we
Condensed version?
Yeah.
No, we have we might need to share it with you. I don't know if we actually.
Okay, I'm going to send it to my
Oh, is that it? Yeah.
Oh, was that it? I thought we're three and this two.
Oh.
Yeah, I didn't. All right, so this is the condensed. If you're like, you know, near the end, go to this page, and it kind of has it all, and then it has our goals a lot more clear. So I was thinking, or we were thinking, since he struggles with phonological awareness and he struggles with reading, he's getting RSP for reading. But if you support the phonological awareness, that'll be like really good and important to help in that area. So just a goal that like made up. Daniel identified the sounds in words and the number of sounds in words and spelling or vocabulary words from classroom word lists of 10 words having 4 phonemes in 4 out of 5 trials. Just kind of generally supporting what phonological awareness is, which is identifying sounds, the number of sounds, the similarities in sounds, and the goal that I made is kind of a beginner level one, and you can, and our prompt says like, make up what kind of results you think he has, and then make up a goal based off of it. So it's like, based off your hypothetical results, what goals would you give him? So hypothetically, I said he's really low at phonological awareness, but if you wanted to say, oh, he's like at a higher level, you could have him just do a goal based off of like similarities in sounds instead of just identifying the number of sounds or whatever. And that's up to you. And if you want to know about how phonological awareness helps reading, because that's another of his goals, the Levine book that Dr. Osborne gave to those of us who were in her diagnostics class. It's called Educational, I don't know what it's called. I'll put that on there though for you guys. The name of the book. And she talks a lot about it. And then we made a goal for reading comprehension that I thought would be good to have it like a collaborative goal with the RSP teacher. And this is from an article by Jensen, which Jenny Ricard actually also has up on her site on the Moodle under the social thinking part. And I just stole this goal straight from Jensen because it combines reading comprehension and social thinking, which is exactly what he needs. And they can support each other during this. So the goal just says, when listening and reading along to an oral story, At a student's social and cognitive level, Daniel, who is our kid, will generate social thinking questions or statements that demonstrate understanding perspective. Like, she is thinking, feeling, or I think the author did that because improving from however many we assume he has started out at to 4 out of 5. And that's from Jensen. So, and all of this stuff, Amy has an article, no, that Mendeley or whatever, Amy has put all of the articles that she used, especially from up here, and I put the ones from down here, and so they're all in the Mendeley thing, so if you go there, you'll be able to find this all. And then I thought we should do like 2 pragmatics goals, and I made 3 that you could pick 2 from if you wanted to. So we need to have him engage in appropriate cooperative social play interactions, because he's not doing that very well. We need him to maybe use the whole body listening strategies, and that is from the Bellini article, and that kind of says that like those are the things that if you push into the classroom and teach them, it'll generalize. And we need to focus on him using eye contact, and that's part of whole body listening. And then the anxiety thing too, he says he's really anxious. And so I had a goal before that kind of addressed like relaxation strategies, but it didn't sound great. So if you guys feel like you want one, I can put it back in and you guys can have the relaxation strategies, but that almost felt like it was voice related when I was writing it out, like relaxing your vocal cords. So, let me know if you'd like to have that. And then maintaining conversations by staying on topic. And those are just kind of the goals we wanted for him. Just like 3 goal areas, probably like 4 goals so you're not overwhelmed.